This video was made possible by Mzizi International, the official African diaspora clothing brand. Visit mzizishop.com for more information. Police forces are vital pillars of public safety in any country, playing numerous roles to keep citizens secure. They enforce laws, deterring crime and ensuring societal order. Through investigations, they identify and apprehend criminals, fostering a sense of justice and closure. They respond to emergencies, swiftly intervening in dangerous situations to protect lives and property. Importantly, they build trust and rapport with communities, promoting safety from within. In essence, police forces weave a vital safety net, deterring chaos, supporting victims, and upholding the rule of law, all contributing to a more peaceful and secure society. However, a worrying trend has emerged in South Africa as the country is increasingly turning to private security firms for protection instead of relying on the South African police service. How did private security firms usurp the mandate of the traditional police in South Africa? And what impact has this on overall security in the country? In today's video, we will offer deep insight into these questions and more. Before we dive into our topic today, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channels and ringing the bell to be notified about all our exciting future videos. To better understand this story, it is crucial to throw the spotlight on crime in South Africa. The sun-kissed landscapes of South Africa, Africa's leading economic powerhouse, hold a brutal secret. It also harbors one of the world's highest violent crime rates. In 2023, a grim symphony of violence played out daily, with an average of 75 murders and 400 armed robberies every 24 hours. This isn't a new tune. After a period of decline, the past decade has seen a sharp crescendo of violence. Murders spiked from 16,213 in 2012 to 2013 to a gut-wrenching 27,494 in the year to February 2023. South Africa's homicide rate in 2022-2023 was 45 per 100,000 people, compared with a rate of 6.3 in the United States and around 1 in most European countries. Fear pervades every corner, with shadows seeming to hold not just lurking darkness, but ever-present threat of brutality. This rising tide of violence drowns out hope, leaving its victims and all South Africans questioning the very foundation of their safety. A palpable sense of disillusionment hangs heavy in the air. The justice system, meant to be a bastion of hope, feels like a crumbling fortress, riddled with cracks and failing to adequately protect its citizens. Conviction rates plummet, leaving perpetrators to walk free, emboldened by impunity. This perceived impotence of the justice system fuels a vicious cycle of violence, breeding desperation that can only be assuaged in the shadows, far from the reach of a seemingly broken legal system. The brutal reality of crime in South Africa transcends mere statistics. It's etched in the haunted eyes of mothers who've lost children, the constant vigilance that mars every outing, and the fear that creeps in the dusk. It's a country grappling with the legacies of its past, the deep scars of inequality, and the complex web of social issues that feed the flames of violence. Experts have long warned that South African police service is losing the war on crime as things get bleaker, and as a result, wealthy South Africans are turning to a rapidly expanding sector to guarantee their safety: private security. The Private Security Industry Regulation Authority, or PSIRA, reports that there are over 2.7 million registered private security officers in the nation, making South Africa's security sector one of the biggest in the world. In contrast, there are less than 150,000 police officers serving the 62 million citizens of the nation. Private security firms get paid a monthly fee to patrol neighborhoods and offer armed responses to alarms set off by their clients. They also provide tracking and vehicle recovery services, which frequently leads to them engaging in fast-paced pursuit of vehicle thieves and hijackers. According to the PSIRA statistics, the number of security companies operating in South Africa has expanded by 43% over the last 10 years, while the number of security professionals who are registered has climbed by 44%. So, what impact has the rise of private security firms had on overall safety in crime-ridden South Africa? To put it simply, the surging tide of crime has stretched the South African police service forced thin, and private security firms are increasingly stepping in to fill the void. Indeed, PSIRA figures show that over 580,000 private security guards are currently active and employed in South Africa, more than the country's police service and army combined. Consequently, they bring much needed swiftness and visibility to crime prevention, deterring would-be criminals, and offering residents a sense of immediate protection. However, concerns linger about the unequal access to these private security firms, further widening the gap between communities. Only an affluent few can afford to hire private security, so the majority of South Africans must still rely on an under-resourced and struggling police force. People with money make up a very small percentage of South Africa. That means that the vast majority of South Africans don't really benefit from this security industry, said Chuck Thomas, an organized crime expert who has worked more than 30 years in law enforcement and now in private security. If you live in a traditional township environment, or if you live in an informal sector, it is few and far between that you will see security patrols in those areas because they do not have paying customers. In summary, the ascent of private security in South Africa as a dominant force in maintaining law and order is a response to the escalating crime rate and the perceived ineffectiveness of the traditional police force. Private security, with over 2.7 million registered officers, has stepped into a role once held by the police, providing a crucial layer of protection against the rampant violence in the country. However, the reliance on private security raises significant concerns, including issues of regulation and accountability. And it is also not a good sign that it is now almost impossible to identify any function of the public police that is not somewhere and under some circumstances assumed and performed by private police in a democratic society like South Africa, which should have strong institutions. Also, even those who can afford private protection are not guaranteed safety in a nation plagued by pervasive violence. As a result, it is imperative for South African government to bolster the police service with increased resources and personnel, addressing the root causes of crime and implementing measures to ensure safety for all citizens and not just the privileged few within their own borders. Your perspective matters. Do you think the rise of private security firms in South Africa is a good or bad thing for the country? Share your insights and thoughts in the comments below. For continued updates on global affairs and diplomatic development, be sure to subscribe to the New African channel. Stay informed, stay engaged. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to bringing you more insightful content in the future.